let's turn to Genesis, the second chapter. I want to say all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of His anointed Son, Yahweh Shai of Nazareth, and sit at the right-hand side of the Father. Okay, so we get into this topic pertaining to how the weekly Sabbath foreshadows the kingdom of heaven. Get into that. We'll start at Genesis chapter 2. So let's get into this promised rest. Okay, Genesis chapter 2 and 1. It says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, says, God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made." See that? So, who wrote the book of Genesis? Moses. Okay. What Moses was bringing out is how the Most High, through his anointed son, Yahweh Shai, dealt with creation, and how on the seventh day the Lord rested. So the Sabbath means rest. We'll come to find out that the weekly Sabbath foreshadows something greater, the kingdom of heaven, eternal rest. So the way we treat the weekly Sabbath, it shows us how we look at, or looking at the kingdom of heaven. Okay? So the Sabbath is a special day. It's a high holy day. Okay? One of the most sacred days of the Most High in Christ. Christ is the Lord of the Sabbath. He told many Israelites that when he walked the face of the earth. All right? So when you read in 2nd Ezra 6, we might get that, Lord willing. Ezra himself started breaking down creation from day 1 all the way to day 6. But he didn't go into day 7 because there was no creating going on in day 7. Because it's the Sabbath. But if you notice in 2nd Ezra 6, he started right after the 6th day, he started getting it when he's dealing with creation. Right after the 6th day, he started talking about Israel inheriting the earth. Because that's what the Sabbath truly represents. Us inheriting the earth under Christ. That's what we want, this whole entire earth. That's the walk we're in. But to get it, we gotta labor, Israel. We gotta go through trials, tribulations, pain, sorrows. That's the gate, the straight gate that we're taking. And we gotta have the faith. We gotta have the faith. We gotta look back at our ancestors. For a lot of them in Israel, in that wilderness, they didn't have the faith. We'll get it. We'll get it. So again, today's topic, we want to tap into how the weekly Sabbath represents the kingdom of heaven. It foreshadows the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so let's go to Numbers 1. Numbers, the book of Numbers, also written by Moses. Numbers, the first chapter. So we don't want this world. We don't want this kingdom here. This kingdom is headed for destruction. This kingdom is about all type of fornication and witchcraft and idolatry. And at this time, you got the so-called European running the earth. And what he does, he likes to play on the minds of men, especially Israel. Especially Israel. So he comes with a lot of tricks, a lot of spells, and then he play on our youth. And he loves doing it because he gets his power from Satan. So that's why you'll hear satanic terms like transgender. What is that? Lord created you to be a man, you be a man. Lord created you to be a woman, you be a woman. Not, let me change my gender. Now they got something called babyless gender. Come on now. This is that witchcraft again. So now the baby gets older, up in age, 5, 6, 7, they don't know what they are. That's out of order. That's out of order. But when us as the Israelites start following God's commandments, repenting, then the Lord show us that outpouring of the Holy Spirit how to dress, to give a distinction where women are wearing pants with dresses with fringes. Brothers are wearing the pants or breeches. You see, blue border and fringe. See, where's that distinction? See, our sisters ain't supposed to be running around with pants on and a zipper. That's what you call the New World Order, the New Age movement. Witchcraft. Again. And guess who was pushing that stuff? Miss Bloomer and all this foolishness. I guess that's her name. Well, who cares? So we don't want this world, Israel. We want the kingdom of heaven. That's going to be right smack dab right on this earth at Christ's second coming. But the so-called European don't want us to know this. He don't want us to get in this book called the Bible and study it. He wants us to be in his books, all type of other books and philosophies, and then bring it in the body of Christ. That ain't going to cut it, Israel. That's not going to cut it. Lord calling us to repentance, right? So let's look at our ancestors. You are the true biblical Israelites, according to Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26. Don't let them fool you. Don't let Satan trick you. So Satan come with all type of distractions. So the other day we went into the seed and the sower. You read about what Christ seen multitudes of Israelites coming about listening, and then he started breaking down the seed and the sower. In one part where that seed landed in the earth and it started to grow, but then you had thorns there. So what would a thorn bush do to a plant? If you know anything about farming, what would a thorn bush do to a plant? As the plant growing, that thorn bush grows, and then it got them little pricks and stuff. It'll consume and choke that plant, right? What a thorn bush represents worldliness, all type of other doctrines, the different lusts we go after, and then it chokes those worldly lusts, and all that chokes us. Then we become unfruitful. Christ knew that about our people, that we would fall in one of those categories, and he dealt with the seed and the sower. So Christ knows us best because he was in on creation. You understand? So let's get busy. So we say this to go right where we at. Numbers 1 and 1. Numbers 1 and 1. Now read this. All right. So book of Numbers. It says, it's Numbers 1 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the second month, in the second year, after they will come out of the land of Egypt, saying. So where's the location of these Israelites here, according to this verse? Because one thing you want to do is when you're studying the Bible, you want to slow down, take your time, and read the Bible. You can't be looking at read the scripture and then start watching TV and where you just think paying attention. So when the question's asked, you got to look and say, wait a minute, when I'm following along, where is Israel located at? We know they're in the wilderness. So where at? And there's a reason for the question. Sinai. That's what it told us. It said, the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation. What is that? Where would Moses be at? Where would he be at? Go ahead, brother.
The tabernacle congregation will be that tent that will be in the midst of the people. So
right.
Israel will be surrounded the tabernacle of the congregation.
That's exactly what it was called. So you had the tribes that would surround the tabernacle of the congregation. So all them things we talking about and bringing out, you want to remember, because it's going to go hand in hand with your studies. We need all this information or it wouldn't be asked, right? So that's where the Lord was dealing with Moses in the tabernacle of the congregation. On the first day of the second month, in the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel, after their families, by the house of their fathers. So how did we know what tribe we was from? By the mother or the father? Okay. The father. The father dictated the tribe of the son or the daughter, because man carries the seed. It's always been set up like that in Israel. They got the so-called Jew. He goes and say the tribe is dictated by the mother. Again, because this man is into witchcraft. And he worships the queen of heaven. That's why he'll deal with the Babylonian Talmud. We don't deal with the Babylonian Talmud. We deal with the Bible, the scriptures. He's coming with the Babylonian Talmud and say he's Torah. No, he's the devil. And devil means deceiver. You see, this so-called European and so-called Jew was in on the slave trade. He's in on dictating the thoughts of many Israelites through his media, through his movies, Hollywood, free press, which that's a scam within itself, free press. Knowing that when them writers write in the newspaper, all that, they control. It's called control writing. Oh, well, how do we know that? Ain't they on payroll? So let them write something where they ain't supposed to be writing in that little journalism crap. And I guarantee you they'll be fired. So that's called control press. See? And they tell us what they want us to see and hear. CNN, NBC, ABC. That's all control. War on terror. Who is terror that they fighting against? When they creating the nukes and all this other stuff. If you don't do what this man say, he's nuking you. He's gonna throw a bomb or some type of disease out there, right?
Right.
Now, does he control the diseases? Yeah. Anthrax, he the one throw them out there. Anthrax and all this other stuff. It didn't come and say, let's vaccinate the children. You got the flu, you know how to fight the flu, let me give you the flu shot. But the Lord created the immune system to fight all that stuff, right? See, so here we go again. We can't be trusting nothing this man put out there. But again, he gonna play off the youth, because the youth are impressionable. So anything they see, hear, lust after, gonna get it. He throwing it out there and we chasing it down. Chasing it down like it's the thing to do. And that's not good. We gotta learn to restrain ourselves, refrain ourselves, and get in this Bible. That's what you do, young men, young sisters, even us adults. Get in the scriptures, right? So I'm gonna read verse 2 again. It say, take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their poles, from 20 years old and upward. See that? From 20 years old and up. All that are able to go forth to war in Israel. Thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. So this was the first census where you had Moses and Aaron was supposed to number these brothers that could go out to war in Israel from 20 years old and upward. So let's get the count. So let's jump over in the same book, the same chapter, and verse 45. Numbers 145. It says, so were all those that were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war in Israel. Even all they that were numbered were 600,000 and 3,550. You see that? So that was the number given from those in Israel that could go to war from 28 upward. It was 600,000, 3,550. You know, Israel, that all of them would die. You had two brothers that would enter the promised land named Joshua and Caleb. These brothers here that we're reading about, they had no faith. They didn't believe in God's promises. That's what we were banking on now. God's promises. We're banking off His word. God does never break His promises. Man lies. The devil lies. Your Heavenly Father and His anointed Son don't lie. See, that's why this so-called European want this book destroyed, but it can't be destroyed. During the time of the Greeks and all that, what were they doing? Burning up scriptures. The Babylonians, what were they doing? Burning up scriptures. Lord was bringing back His scriptures right on up to Israel. Why do you think we still got the Bibles preserved? You know, I know why? Because we're going to have to answer one day. Ain't nobody getting away. See? This book's going to be on this earth till Christ come back. See? So this book is a serious book. These brothers here, they were hard-headed, they were proud, lustful. They didn't make it. That's why we read that. We don't want to be like this group here. Now let's get into it. Let's go to Numbers 13. Numbers the 13th chapter. So remember all that information we received. If you don't, you're going to miss out. You're going to get lost. See? So we gotta keep up. Keep on keeping up. We're on a mission from the Father through Christ to get the hell up out of here. Okay? And there's going to be a lot of distractions from your own people who hate God. They're going to be about envy and strife because they dealing with carnality and they're devilish. Up to no good. They be in the shadows. They've been poisoned and tainted. These be your worldly brothers and worldly sisters. And they ain't trying to go to no kingdom, so they looking to pluck you away from getting the kingdom. So we got to get grounded, Israel, rooted in the Bible, and be humble and stay humble. Okay? So it's Numbers 13 and 1. You gonna read it, brother?
Yeah, I'll read it.
All right, beautiful.
Numbers 13 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Send thou men, that they may search the land of Canaan.
So the Lord said unto Moses was the Lord's man. Send you men, Moses, that they may search the land of Canaan. So what was the land of Canaan considered?
It was considered the promised land.
It was considered the promised land, the land of our inheritance. Real quick, read Numbers 34. Numbers 34, 1 and 2. And why was it called the promised land?
It was promised to Moses and the forefathers.
What you mean promised to Moses and the forefathers? Close. When you say it, you gotta know what you're talking about. What do you mean forefathers? Four of our fathers, Lord was dealing with.
Our ancestors, Matthew.
Who was promised the land?
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And through that promise, the Lord said, also, I'm going to give your descendants the land. The Lord had made a promise to give us that land. Right? During the time of Abraham. Now, did Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob receive the promised land yet? Nah. So remember, God can't lie. But did we receive that promised land? We're going to get it. We're going to get it today in the scriptures. And see what all this is about. The Lord is deep. He's spiritual. So this is Numbers 34:1, right?
Numbers 34:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, command the children of Israel, and say unto them, when you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall unto you for an inheritance.
See, when you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall unto you, Israel, for what?
Inheritance.
An inheritance. This is your heritage. This is what I'm giving you according to promise. The land of Canaan. Go ahead.
Even the land of Canaan, with the coast thereof.
See that? I'm going to give you the land of Canaan with all its coast. See? The land of promise. So going back to Numbers 13, we have verse 2 again.
Send thou men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them.
Go ahead.
It says, and Moses, by the commandment of the Lord, sent them from the wilderness of Paran. All those men were heads of the children of Israel, and these were their names. Of the tribe of Reuben, Shammua, the son of Zakur. Of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Hori. Of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. Of the tribe of Issachar, Igal, the son of Joseph. Of the tribe of Ephraim, Hosea, the son of Nun.
That's Joshua. Joshua will be from the tribe of Ephraim. Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, the son of Raphu. Of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Sodai. Of the tribe of Joseph, namely of the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, the son of Suzai. Of the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gemali. Of the tribe of Asher, Sethor, the son of Michael. Of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, the son of Bosphi. Of the tribe of Gad, Guel, the son of Makai. These are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land.
So those would be the 12 spies that Moses sent by the commandment of the Father to go and spy out the land of Canaan. Right? So I'll read 13 again. It said, these are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land. That's the land of Canaan. Go ahead.
It says, and Moses called O'Shea, the son of Nun, Jehoshua.
That's Joshua. Go ahead.
And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, get you up this way southward, and go up into the mountains.
So at this point, Israel, we were very close to the land of Canaan. It was right there. Right? So the Lord said, listen, Moses, tell these brothers to go out and go up there and look at the land and get the facts, Jack. The Lord know what he's doing. See? Go ahead.
It says, verse 18, and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwelleth therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good or bad, and what cities they be that they dwell in, whether in tents or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood therein or not, and be of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes.
So that go to show you the Most High be on time, brothers and sisters. The Lord knew what season it was. He brought us right there close to the land of Canaan, right when there was the time of what? The first ripe grapes. And Moses encouraged all these brothers, rulers, heads, to be of courage, man. Be of courage. about to inherit a pleasant and beautiful, prosperous, fertile land. That's right. Read on.
Verse 21. So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin unto Rehob, as men come to Hamath. And they ascended by the south and came unto Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishai, and Talmai, the children of Anak, were. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zon in Egypt. And they came unto the brook of Eshcol, and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes.
See, so right there, these brothers, they hit a spot, which is called the brook of Eshcol. And they cut down from thence, meaning from there, one branch, man. One branch or one cluster of grapes. You know what a cluster is?
Abundance.
Yeah, bundle. You see them in the grapes in the cluster, but not like you see over here at Target, Food for Less and all that, red or green. Well, nah. These were some huge grapes, right? Because it was the time of what? First ripe grapes. So the Lord will be showing us that this will be a very fertile land, a land where you have brooks, springs, lakes, and pools of water. Everything we would need, we would have. All the 12 tribes would have this land, a prosperous land. That's what he was showing the spies. And also he knew that Israel knew about the children of Anak. So he knew what Israel was going to see. Tall cats. Cats looked taller than Manute Bol, some of y'all know. See? He knew what we was going to see. See, so the Lord know what type of people He's dealing with also. Read on.
It says in the bottom of 23, it says, and they buried between two upon a staff.
So to see that it took two brothers to carry one branch of one cluster of grapes. So what that tell you about the grapes?
Huge.
They were huge. See, you couldn't get these grapes at Whole Foods. Well, get some organics. Not these. Go ahead.
It says, and they brought of the pomegranates.
And they bought of the what?
Of the pomegranates.
Now, you know these pomegranates had to be fresh, juicy. You know what I'm saying? Not like here. You see? It was fresh, man. Fruity. Go ahead.
And of the fig.
And the figs. See these fruit trees, these fruits? Go ahead.
The place was called the brook of Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from thence. And they returned from searching of the land after 40 days.
So it took them, these spies, 40 days to search the land. So they got the view, they got the view of the land, a pleasant land. Go ahead.
It says, and they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land.
So they showed Israel, Moses, all of them the fruit of the land, the pomegranates, the figs, those huge grapes. Go ahead.
It says, and they told him and said, we came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it.
See, so they came back. These spies said, look, this is a fertile land. It's very fruitful. It is the land of milk and honey. So they got that right. They bringing back the report, showing Israel the facts. But one thing went wrong. Right here in verse 28.
Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there.
See, so now you got these brothers. Remember, they heads. You got 10 of these men discouraging Israel. Here's the fruit of it. The Lord is right, but the children of Anak there, they strong. See, these guys forgot about what the Lord did to the Egyptians. A strong empire, did they not? They forgot about the power and the mighty signs the Lord had showed them the whole time. They ain't even thinking about how the Lord had opened the Red Sea and drowned the Egyptians. You see? They're not even relying on the Most High's power. Now they not even understanding that a cloudy pillar was guiding us and leading us through the wilderness. They ain't understanding. And who was there with us the whole time? Jesus Christ, Yahushua. In the wilderness the whole time. Looking at our nation, cut up and act a fool. See? Now we got to remember this. Later on, you see how it always happened. We go through scriptures to build up the class. So it's going to show you how spirits jump. See? These are very unfaithful men. But they were leaders. Right?
Right.
So let's read on. We at verse 29.
The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of Jordan.
So imagine that, Israel. Just imagine that. Here you got 10 brothers coming, telling the whole congregation, this is the deal. The land is fruitful, but the children are not there. The other nations is there. They powerful. 10 brothers telling the nation of people that automatically our nation, we carnal. 10? 2. Who do you think the majority of people in Israel, our nation, will believe?
The 10.
The 10, because the multitude.
Right.
Right off the back, wait a minute. Let's go with this group. The unfaithful falling right in the trap. See? So read on. Verse 30.
It says, and Caleb stilled the people before Moses.
Why did Caleb, his brother from the tribe of Judah, have to steal the people? Because the people what? We must whisper, scared.
Yeah, scared.
They got scared, speak up.
They got scared.
They got scared. They cutting up. Caleb like, hold on. Because Caleb got another spirit. He's not what?
He's not scared.
He's not scary, fearful. He has obviously what?
The Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit. The spirit of what?
Courage.
Courage,
Confidence.
confidence, which is also called faith in God's promises. What was the Lord telling them, Israel, the whole time? That they're going to get the land.
Right.
It don't matter what condition, adversity they're going to experience, the Lord has to fulfill his promises. He had already promised Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. They had already heard the gospel. Right? So when Abraham, he knew about Christ and all that. When Abraham teach it to Isaac, Isaac teach it to Jacob. And what Joseph told his brothers before they even went into captivity in Egypt, what was going to happen to them. And he said, when you get out of Egypt, take my bones with you. Remember them classes,
Yep.
Israel? See? So we supposed to be fired up, be like, okay, what's for the next class and the next class? Because this is, we hungry.
Right.
But it's, see, we forgetting. Wait a minute. How we forgetting stuff? You see, it all adds up. There's a reason why we gotta be hungry and letting our lights be burning. So we up against an entity called Satan, Israel. Spirits. That's what we up against. Spirits. You wanna know what different things be happening? All that spiritual forces, spirits. That's the key. Take your time, read Ephesians 6 sometime. Spirits. demonic forces and stuff. See, we ain't talking about Hollywood, okay? When you're looking for some guy looking like the Baphomet with the horns and all that, looking like a lizard. And there he is, the devil. That's Hollywood, man. Spirits. You see? The Lord also be having his angels to protect us. Scriptures say the Lord have angels to protect those that fear him. That be really sincere about the truth, about the scriptures. See? The Lord sent angels, ministering spirits to deal with those that be heirs of salvation. That's in Hebrews, the 1st chapter. See that? So we saying all this to say this. These 10 spies, they don't have spirits on them? Yeah, they have spirits on them. See, discouraging spirits, demonic spirits, they don't have faith. They're not believing in God's words. So Caleb had to still the people. Read it again, verse 30, Numbers 13 and 30.
And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once.
See, Caleb said, let us go up now. Let us go up now, Israel. Be ready. Be ready. See? Get into the history. Get into it. Ah, that's what it said. Okay, I got it. Let's go. They ready. Didn't Judas Maccabee and all them roll like this?
Yep. Fired up.
Fired up. That's in your history. Look at Eleazar and the mother and the 7 sons when they came to die for God's commandments. They said, you got to take us out, Esau.
Fully resolved.
Fully resolved. But we know it's going to be a resurrection. We coming back. They knew that. You had sisters, Esau talking about they can't circumcise their children. Sisters like, bet. Yeah, right. They circumcised their boys, all that. They got put to death. Oh, well. Esau said, you can't keep the Sabbath. Yeah, right, bet. We was in caves keeping the Sabbath. Them brothers and sisters got burnt. And the Lord said, let not this be a discouragement. Send Maccabees. For it's like a destruction because it goes Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter. Them brothers and sisters, Eleazar, all them, they ain't destroyed, bro. They coming back. So we ain't supposed to be discouraged like, man, we die. Things like that, that's it. Looking at, reading that history, nah, we supposed to, you know what? The Lord bringing them back. That's why. You reading about stuff called the resurrection. You see? There's no, why the Lord do that to them? We're going through the chastity. The Lord is going to bring us back. It's called the resurrection. All praises. See? We got to understand. We got to understand these scriptures, Israel. We got to seek the Lord while he may be found. Too many Israelites want vainglory, pat on the back, be seen, put themselves out there. We ain't here for that. All we want to do is push the word. Israel get pissed off, they gonna get pissed off, and that's how our people is. They get envious, jealous, and start talking junk. You brothers and sisters think you righteous. Ain't nobody said that. You said that. Y'all think y'all know it all. You saying that. You got spirits on you. See? You calling me the devil? Come on, brother. What did Christ have to tell Peter at times? He had spirits on him. Back up, Satan. We get touched. We get touched when we need to repent. So we really don't be knowing what love is. So we gotta learn all over again and humble ourselves. So let's read on.
Numbers 13 and 30. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it.
We are what?
Well able to overcome it.
See that? Caleb ain't double-minded. He said we will able to overcome it. Why? Because Caleb knew who he was rolling with, right or wrong. He knew he was rolling with the power, man. He was rolling with the Most High Christ, the promises. He wasn't getting touched, brothers and sisters. Oh, man, here we go. We in this situation. What did the Lord say? What did the Lord say? See, that's how we got to be. What did the Lord say? Remember, he ain't going to never forsake us. His word is what? Bond. It ain't coming back void. See? That's serious. Caleb said, we're well able to overcome them and to possess it. Paul said in Romans 15, all this here is written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort, right, might have that hope, man. That's why the devil be moving through these religions and tell us don't read the Old Testament. That's back in the day. See, Satan know them promises are all up in there. See the trick now? Don't read that book. Look. New Testament, NIV. See? Come with these old other books, brother. See? Got groups calling themselves the saints, the Latter-day Saints. You're not the saints. The elect of Israel is the saints. You the ain'ts. So-called European, these nations are spittle, man. That's what the scriptures say. The Lord say they're going to be Israel's servants and handmaids. What is a servant and a handmaid? A slave, man. This man had no problem making us slaves and calling us slaves. And telling us that he's our master. And had no problem calling a man that's 40 a boy. Boy, don't look at me with your eyes. Yes, sir, master. See? How was he able to do that, Israel?
Mind control.
Mind control. He been doing that. We was waking up. MK Ultra, man, you know what they doing? What are they doing? What they been doing? You see, they got the microwave towers, and see, man, you know them phones and all that cause cancer and all. Okay, what else don't cause cancer? Anything in this society cause any type of thing. And what we gonna do, Israel? Repent and bank off the promises. When are we gonna get on in the book and say, you know what? I gotta go off this. These promises. And you'll see why we talking like this. Let's continue.
Verse 31. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people.
What do you call that right there?
Discouraged.
Discouraged. Okay, what else?
No faith.
Okay, no faith. What else?
That's Satan.
False witness. What else? What do you see, Israel? Cowards. Cowards.
So discord.
Well, you got them D's coming. You're shooting the D's.
It's the devil.
What you say?
Division.
You see the division. You see how you got the unbelievers and the believers in Israel? You see? Right there. Division. Two speaking something very different from what others are speaking. Right there, that's the devil. We ain't speaking the same thing. It's a problem. See? Just throwing out any old type of teachings out there, give it to Israel, and ain't worried about the consequences. That's the problem. That ain't love. It's like my brother said, in the spirit has division. See? You know the Lord right there, he gonna deal. You know he gonna deal with division. See? So let's read on.
It says, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we.
For they're stronger than us. See, those 10 ain't rolling with God, right?
No.
They stronger than us. Read on.
Verse 32. And they brought up an evil report of the land, which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature.
See that? We see men of a great stature, children of Anak. They stronger than us. We can't overcome them. See, they speaking against God's word, against his promises. This day program. That's how you know that's Satan on them. See? And that's what Satan is about, division. And Satan don't want us to hear God's word. Straight up. So what did it tell us in Mark? Let's get that real quick. Mark 4. Mark 4:14. We'll read that. All right, go ahead, my brother.
All right, Mark 4:14. It says, the sower soweth the word.
Right, so this Christ breaking down the parable of the seed and the sower. Christ is the Most High Christ. They are the sower who sows the word, meaning bring forth that gospel of the kingdom of heaven. So when Christ walked, that's what he would teach, the gospel of the kingdom of heaven. He would teach repentance to Israel. And sow that word. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts.
See that? So it go to show you, we've seen some of that before.
Right.
You might be sharing something with a brother or a sister on the streets or whatever. And you notice, if you listening, you talking about the gospel, repentance, kingdom of heaven, and for Israel, and we gotta repent. You notice, immediately they'll get distracted. Little things start happening. Baby boy and a girl maybe, hey, daddy, this and that, hey. And then something else, their phone may ring. Hold on, it ain't, let me call you right now, or a girl may walk by,
Satan.
or a guy may walk by. Hey, Gina. See? Distraction. So who is that?
Satan.
That's Satan right there. Come with the distractions. Cats being there. What's up, brother? You looking in there? Y'all smell that weed? It smell good, don't it? What was that?
Satan.
Because he the prince of the power of the air, man. Everywhere. See? And he'll do anything or use anything to distract us. Because he don't want us to hear this word, this gospel about salvation. See? So they either be the group that be falling, they'll hear the word by the wayside. And that distraction will come. And be Satan, you try to tell them, pay attention. You can't. That's Satan. See, that's what Christ was talking, that's what he was talking about. See? So let's go back. All praises. Numbers 13 and 33.
And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants. And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight.
See that? So they still discouraging the people, causing division. You got Israel talking about these giants were from the fallen angels. And giants, 400 feet tall, land with with women. You serious? A 400-foot guy land with a woman? what are they feeding them? Beanstalks and all this? The women feeding them. Hey, Jack, here. 400 feet. And we believe the stuff. Angels get aroused now. Oh, look at that woman over there. Well, she's gonna have my child. And they chasing these. That's serious? See, these giants come from Ham, man. Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Angels don't have children. They was never set up like that. Christ himself said that angels don't marry, nor are they given in marriage. Well, Christ didn't mean that. See, what did he mean, brother?
Exactly what he said.
Always, he didn't mean that. What did he mean? So they get caught up in the translation. Well, Peter said angels. Peter listened to Christ. How Peter gonna teach against Christ? What did Christ say? So whatever Christ said, Peter's saying the same thing. Because you see angel, automatically. Malachi also was called an angel in 2nd Esdras, right? You had angel mean minister. In Revelation it said the angel that's over the church in Sardis, right, John? So what was John, John the apostle? Let me write this to this angel here with wings. See how we float? Take a word and run with it. Well, the blue letter says this. Okay, here we go again. James Strong said that. Here we go again. Here we go again. See what happens? So a lot of these brothers and sisters, they be having itching ears, or they be on an island by themselves as a bull straying along. You know that's dangerous.
Torn in the pieces.
That's dangerous. We be forgetting that scripture is there. We just tell other brothers, all praises to the Most High in Christ. We just say, read Ecclesiastes 6. Read Ecclesiastes 6. I don't want to. Okay. Friendship. Okay. On whose terms? So it'd be on their terms. Because they spoiled. They want it their way. It's one-sided. Okay. Missing the point. That's fair.
Nope.
Let's get busy, man. Let's continue. We in Numbers 14, right?
Yep.
And 1.
Numbers 14 and 1.
All right.
And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night.
See that? So now all you got the rest of the Israelites, the tribes, they crying, man, in the tents because that spirit didn't jump. So now their faith is what?
Shaking.
Shaking. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
So look at that. So now they start to murmur. What is murmur?
Evil speaking, negative speaking.
Negative speaking, evil speaking against Aaron and against Moses. The Lord got their ticket, because you know the ear of jealousy hear all things, right?
All murmuring.
You hear that? That's why Paul told the church in Corinth, beware that murmuring, Israel. You get caught up with the destroyer. I won't want to meet the destroyer like that. For murmuring? Yes. No. All I did was murmur. See how we get? That lack of fear, man. That's what was happening. But let's read on.
It says, and the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness?
See how they talking? We wish we would have died in Egypt. They saying it with fury. We wish we died in this wilderness. Talking. See? All this is out of a lack of faith in God's promises. Angry. They filled with hate. They proud, right? This was happening. And what these 10 spies had said. Now they fueled up. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land? To fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be oppressed?
See how they thinking? The Lord brought us in this situation to kill us. To kill our children, our wives. Is that true?
No.
Their speech is bringing it on themselves. See? It's negative. And you just know the Lord frowned up. We're gonna continue to read and see. Read on.
Were it not better for us to return into Egypt?
Ah. So what was the real deal? They loved the world. They loved Egypt. That kingdom. Right or wrong?
Right.
They wanted to go back into that old lifestyle. Because remember, did the Lord show us the way? When? What book we in right now?
Numbers.
Numbers. So when did the Lord show us the way? And the way to live as a nation? When did he do that? One brother.
Reading by the way you live.
By the way we should live as a nation. When did the Lord show us the way? How we supposed to live as a nation? Go ahead.
Mount Sinai.
At Mount Sinai, Exodus 20. No, we like the golden calf. We like to wear the Egyptians. That's what we wanted to go back to, right or wrong.
Yeah.
Did that happen to this day?
Yes.
Israel like this lifestyle. They like the old way of living and think it's cute and cool. See? And then you got people who thumbs up the thing, like it's the thing to do. See? When you got brothers and sisters got that real love for their brother and sister, they can't see it though, because guess what? Correction is still going out. So it's time to repent. No, they talking about me. Serious? Repent. That's all of us, right?
Right.
And for us to say that's all of us, we need to repent. Are we calling ourselves righteous if we really listening?
No.
No. But if we angry, we don't want to hear that.
Personal.
It becomes personal now. Now things are done out of spite. See, and when they want to handle matters righteously, no, they want to spread other stuff to other brothers and sisters that's out there that got an issue with somebody. So it just keeps going. But you know what? The Lord gonna put an end to all that madness. All of it. And they're gonna have to meet Christ just like us. See? This is serious, Israel. They want to go back to Egypt. No faith. What did the Lord tell his people right here? That he was giving them a land of promise. So you mean the Heavenly Father used vessels, all that, and will perform all those mighty miracles before our eyes for nothing? He was wasting his time. Israel, how is we getting fed? What was we eating? Manna from heaven. Ain't that powerful enough? We despise that. Carnal. Well, how are we drinking? What did the Lord do for us?
Water out the rock.
Give us water from a rock. Fed us, the tribes, and the cattle. Everybody their thirst was quenched. But we wasn't being spiritual. That be the problem. You see, we be carnal. And we don't want to subject ourselves to the law, so we cause problems. That's the thing. See?
Right. And also, like brothers going through being carnal, just a question, why did they want to go back to Egypt?
Because in Egypt, although we was in oppression, we was allowed to fulfill our lusts.
Right. Just a precept, go to Acts 7. Just to add with the lesson. Because this ain't coincidence that they just happen to act this way. Somebody can read Acts 7 and 38, 39.
Okay. Acts 7, verse 38. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness, with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai.
So that's talking about Moses. Who was that church in the wilderness?
Children of Israel.
We were that church. See? That great, like it says in the scripture, the congregation in that wilderness. Go ahead.
And it says, and with our fathers, who received the lively oracles to give unto us.
So, with our who?
With our fathers, who received the lively oracles to give unto us.
See? So the forefathers received the law. Stephen know the history. He ain't speaking about with the nations there with us. It says, with our fathers to receive the lively oracles to give unto us. Go ahead.
Verse 39. To whom our fathers would not obey, but thrust him from them. And in their hearts.
And in their what?
And in their hearts turned back again into Egypt.
See? So Israel was physically there in the wilderness. Their bodies was present there, but where was their minds?
In Egypt.
It was still in Egypt. That's why it kept coming up. Because that world was still in them. Even though they had left Egypt physically, and they seen the miracles and the works of the Most High, and like the Spirit is bringing out, the Lord didn't put us in the wilderness and just left us there and we had to go hunt for food. And,
Right.
you know, the Lord sustained us the whole time we was there. When we read Numbers, we reading just several accounts. We reading about it from Exodus to Numbers. We're reading a 40-year period of us being in the wilderness. So we didn't leave Egypt, and the Lord said, okay, at the Red Sea on the other side, you see the Egyptians. All right, guys, this is it. I'm out. No, he stayed with us the whole time because he was promising us that we was going to go into that promised land. So guess what? He would guide us and he would lead us to it. But the non-believers, they didn't care what the Lord did. The Lord sustained us with food, like it's being brought out. He sustained us with water, clothing. See? Our shoes didn't wear out, our clothes. I mean, imagine having a piece of clothing for 40 years and see how long it lasts. The Lord was sustaining the people through the miracles that he was providing for us. And not only did just that, we left Egypt blessed. We had enough to build a tabernacle to the point where Moses was like, enough. We don't need no more. Y'all take y'all stuff back. That's enough for the tabernacle for right now. We left with cattle, we left with riches, but their minds were still where?
In Egypt.
In Egypt. It was in that world. So that's a lesson for us. We don't want to be here physically, but spiritually our minds is everywhere else but here.
Right.
You don't want to do that because we gotta, as we're gonna go through the scriptures, we gotta learn from their example. We here, we got the ribbon blue and fringe on, we look the part, but spiritually our mind it ain't even in these scriptures. You know? And the Lord knows that. So just a reminder, brothers and sisters, that's for all of us. That world is still there. and it still be calling. So let's learn from our forefathers, because they went back to Egypt in their minds. They was always there. That's why every time something came up, how come we ain't going back to Egypt? They even got to the point where they was like, we out. Soon as Moses left, build us a calf. Guess what? The calf and everybody else, we going back into Egypt. So it's showing you that they really didn't appreciate what the Lord was doing for them. They want to go back to bondage, go back to slavery. See? So.
Yeah, we were saying that how Moses, he gave us those lively oracles. The Lord used Moses to teach us them commandments. Okay, those are the oracles of God, so we can understand. So going back to Numbers 14, all praises. In 3, that latter part say, were it not better for us to return into Egypt? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And they said one to another, let us make a captain and let us return into Egypt.
So what type of captain you think Israel wanted?
A fleshly captain.
A worldly captain. So they didn't like Aaron and Moses. See, let us make us a captain, one that's worldly, that'll think like them, right? Cater to them and their wishes and lusts, right? Want to be like, yeah, let's go back to Egypt and get us destroyed. One who wouldn't even be about God's words. See, verse 5.
Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes.
See, so Caleb and Joshua, one of the out of the 12 spies, those two had the faith. They started renting their clothes because Israel cutting up. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it us.
See how they speaking? Caleb and Joshua. Israel don't rebel. The Lord will give us this land. Be faithful. Believe in his promises. That's what they saying. Go ahead.
It says, and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us.
See, they bread for us. We can eat them up, Israel. The Lord is on our side. Go ahead.
Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear them not. But all the congregation bade stone them with stones.
Look at that. Why Israel do say that? Because Caleb and Joshua speaking the right words in faith. As they coming into faith, what is Israel doing?
Coming up against them.
Coming up against them saying what?
Kill them.
Kill them, stone them. Because they don't have the same faith.
Right. You don't have the spirit.
They don't have that spirit. So they ready to kill the men of the Lord. See the difference? They got a worldly mind. Remember, they were already out there that they want Egypt. That's the root of the thing. That's the whole root of it. They want to live their way, and since they can't like they want to, they got to attack the faithful. But if they can have it their way, they be straight. They be straight. So they ready to stone these brothers. Now what did Caleb and Joshua do to them? Nothing. See, they ready to sin, man. That's murder. Didn't the Lord say, thou shalt not kill?
Yep.
When did he say that?
Exodus 20.
There you go again. We ain't thinking about that. At one point in time, we trembling. Oh, Moses, you speak to us and we'll hear. Yeah. They ready to kill their brothers. See? Go ahead.
It says, And the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel.
So the Lord came down, stepping in. Right? In that portable tabernacle. Remember that? So it's, I'm here now. See? It's dangerous. That's what we be talking about. The Lord show up, talk that stuff to him. Oh my God, what was all that rejoicing and wickedness and all that? Now you weeping. You was laughing at first. Right? Said, woe unto them that laugh now, they shall weep. What was all that talk? See? It's serious business, man. That's why we just here to learn and repent and fellowship, have good company, boom, and let the Lord do his bidding. That's what it's about. We ain't here to control nobody. We ain't supposed to be like that. This is the Lord, the Most High in Christ program. We just let the word go out and rip. And that word, when it go out, it touch all of us. A lot of people don't understand that. See? So let's read on. The Lord then showed up.
It says in the 11th verse, and the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me?
See, that's one of the key words. How long will this people what? Provoke me. Meaning tempt me. See what they were doing? Tempting the Lord. That's right. Go ahead.
And how long will it be ere they believe me?
How long will it be ere they what?
Believe me.
Why did the Lord say, how long would it be ere they believe me? Because they didn't believe. They didn't believe in what? His words, his promises. They didn't have the faith. Keep all this in mind. Because you're going to see how the apostles, and then they have the apostles' doctrine, they fed the church. How long is people there before they believe me? Lord, let them be known. Look, well, I got them, but they ain't hearing my word. They don't believe in the word. They don't believe in the promises. Like my brothers bring it out in the spirit. They looked the part. They knew their nationality, right or wrong.
Right.
They knew what tribe they were from. Right? Could speak Hebrew. No faith. When it came to hearing the gospel, you think Moses preached to them the gospel?
Yep.
Yeah. Or do we think the gospel started in 1960? Yeah, home of the truth. Yeah. See? The gospel been around since the beginning. Adam and all of them knew about Christ, right? Enoch knew about Christ. This is before the flood. See? Let's continue.
It says, and how long will it be ere they believe me for all the signs which I have showed among them?
Did he not show us many miracles and signs? I'm telling you, man, he was feeding us that manna, that foreshadowed Yahushua. He's that bread from heaven. Let me ask you, you think that we got the nation there, they eat manna? You don't read that. Oh, the mixed multitude, those are the nations, and they was with us. See, that's the devil doctrine. He saw them to slid that in there, so to say, yeah, the nations get deliverance too. They were on the same plateau as the Israelites. You don't read about the nation going out to eat manna, man. That was for Israel. That's our history, man. Quit trying to add your enemy to your history. Yeah, you know, Billy was eating some of that. No, Billy wasn't. Let's read on.
12th verse says, I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. And Moses said unto the Lord, then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land. For they have heard that thou, Lord, art among this people, that thou, Lord, art seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that thou goest before them by daytime in a pillar of a cloud, and in a pillar of fire by night.
See, Moses got the love he mediating for us. Go ahead.
It says in verse 15, now if thou shalt kill all this people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, because the Lord was not able to bring this people into the land which he sware unto them, therefore hath he slain them in the wilderness. And now I beseech thee, let the power of my Lord be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, the Lord is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation.
See, so Moses ain't making an excuse for our sins. He's pleading for us, and he don't want the nations to say anything. So that's why he said, Lord, these nations start talking, you killed your people, and say, look, you swore to the people to give them the land. Remember, the Lord does not break
His word.
promises, his words. So you keep that in mind. Always remember that. As long as you got breath, the Lord never breaks his promises. Go ahead.
Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people, according unto the greatness of thy mercy. And as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt, even until now. And the Lord said, I have pardoned, according to thy word. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now.
Have tempted me now, provoked me now.
These 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice.
And have not hearkened to my what?
My voice.
My voice, mean that gospel, that promise of getting the land. Go ahead.
Surely.
Maybe.
Surely.
Remember this. Surely, go ahead.
They shall not see the land which I swore unto their fathers. Neither shall any of them that provoke me see it.
You see that? What did the Lord just do right there? That group
Judgment.
that's hard-headed, talking, that's 600-something thousand plus. Surely, they're not going. Because they do not believe in my word. Didn't he say that?
Yep, scratch them out.
Will the Lord break his promise?
No.
Because he just said, surely. So let man come say, nah, we're going to see. The Lord X them out. Because they lacked faith. They didn't have the faith. You see? They didn't tremble at God's words. Read verse 24.
But my servant Caleb, because he have another spirit with him, and hath followed me fully, him will I bring into the land, whereunto he went, and his seed shall possess it.
See that? So the Lord said, what? But my servant Caleb, one of the spies that was faithful, had the faith, he going.